Okay, so I'm working on the new housing for my mirror setup. So, but in order to do that, I'm going to use some of the parts from this one again. And I wanted to make sure I showed how this one worked because I spent a lot of time on it and I like it. It's just a little big and a little bit, well, the word monstrous comes to mind. But so one thing I really like. So this thing first. I just attached with the screw there. I just keep it a little loose so I could put my camera in there, and I made it all sparkly so it goes with the theme. And this too to just kind of reflects on it so it doesn't just look like a random beam of wood if it's on camera. And then this thing here is for either my phone. I can mount it with that thing that's on the top right now, and or my starlight there. And the mirrors. Oh, and then I do have a little chain here that's just pegged to either side so that this mirror, because when I have it straight up and down, it's not usually a big issue, but when it's tilted, sometimes it slips a little bit, and that way it'll catch it if it falls. It's still secured that way though. These are a little broken, but I've got two mirrors up here right now. They're stacked on top of each other because I wasn't like using it. But because it adjusts the reflections depending upon where things are pointed. See, just kind of sliding again. But I'm gonna start taking some of the pieces apart. But yeah. Oh, and these plates right here. This is in case Alice stops by and we want to have a little tea party. I have some plates. Just kidding. That's not really why they're there. Okay, so I took off the top part and because I'm getting ready to disassemble some of the stuff. And so it's on this wood frame thing, but the sides, originally I had it set up where I could change it to really like a lot wider or a lot narrower for a certain setup I was using. This right here, these guys are here because when I tip it up, I can stand up a mirror, and it was holding it in when I wanted to have it. I've tried a lot of different setups. These blocks are here to just keep it more toward the center because I've found the wider it is, the harder it is to capture some of the cool looking reflections on camera. And then I got a different size mirror. My older mirror was a little wider, and so anyway, that's just there to kind of keep things from tipping over. This side has a similar thing. One of them screwed in, one of them is just placed there, I think. And then take off this mirror first. So this is set like this. Let me move my guys here. And let me see if I can get something to hold my camera. And so this is the thing I made here because I needed it to go a little more in toward the center because I was finding the more narrow, the better the reflections and stuff. And so, all right, so what I did, I attached this thing to hold the mirror in. I put a rubber band thing around the back here and this front thing just to keep it from tipping. And then down here, there's a little block that I can move it back and forth, but I can't, it doesn't like tip forward. Let me take this guy off. So you can see, kind of just held it a little bit, but and then is this going to shift down? Because this is kind of helping hold the back part up straight or however. So. Yeah, so this one's not attached. It slides out. It's still hooked to the chain because this thing's in there. And this, you can see that it can't really go any more that way because of the little knob. And then on this side, it's secured that way. I'm going to take off the back mirror. It is mostly secured by just being tied onto the knobs also. But I'm going to get it out of the way because, well, so neither of these are really super secured in here. They're all just kind of, once they're together, they keep each other up. But So I don't want anything to fall, but I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so as you can see, it's a drawer. So this one's, actually, let me take that because that's just propped up there. This one's just set on here. This one over here, I did put a little peg there just to kind of help stabilize it a little bit. It won't hold it up against anything really strong, but just a little bit. And I get this little chain thingy. It loops. Oh, my fingers are not very nimble. So it goes like that. And then this one slides out. And it kind of is wonky because I have this thing here, this one beam here that I'm kind of missing. That is a little taller. That's what helped keep it in this direction, you know. But there's that. I'll put you over here. And then this little mirror again was just for that edge, for when the mirror was in the tilted position, just to have a little, so there's not wood showing through. And then this one, let me think how best to disassemble. Okay, I think I'm just gonna move this one off of here. But here, so this is that one mirror that I found on the curb. And here, so this was here. So the drawer lifts up a little bit. I think I might have shown the table before, but in a different video, but just in case. And this thing is a frame from an old dresser, but so it created like a little bit where there were some spots that weren't well supported. So I got different blocks of, like a block of wood here and a little piece of wood here, just so that there wasn't any area where the mirror, if it was pressed on, would be weak to break. So that was, and right here I put stuff, especially because that's where the other mirror rested on it, and I didn't want it to crack it or anything. And this was to kind of secure the distance out this needed to be to reach like the end of the table. And then I liked being able to have the light or the camera screwed in there. And but get that up. Spacer guy. And then this I just used. This is what I was talking about. So this is part of an old dresser. This is where I disassembled it. This is where the drawers would slide in. Using wonderful, wonderful drawer slides that I love so much. This is the bottom of an old kitchen drawer, but it's right. It was the right width or depth, whatever you call it, for what I needed. And this is one of my boards I use for all kinds of things. I had a neighbor that threw these away a while ago, and I've used the heck out of them. And so this drawer is, I've got like, this is from like a camera fixture thingy, and then this is a peg from like an old weight kind of machine thingy, and they don't hold it super secure, but it was just to keep it from like if we scooted the mirror, that it wouldn't scoot it off of the table. So that's all it was there for. But so these guys, set this over here, and then So, and then this is one of my little table contraptions I made. Is it on? Okay. So, and then just to show this mirror setup here, this is a little, I don't know, it just had a little thing that one of my phone knobby things screwed into, and so I used it kind of like a little clamp, I guess. So, to secure that top mirror on, because all the other mirrors underneath it are kind of kept in place by that. Sorry, camera's in a weird spot. So take that off, and then this is part of the first mirror I broke while I was shuffling. So this one I did. This one is one of the, so I got these mirrors on super sale, right? They're super cheap mirrors, and they're super thin, very, very thin. And so they break really easy. But I got them to cut to the right shapes, which is, I've been able to do some, but I'm not perfect at it. And I have a tendency to, there usually is a little bit of cracks and breakage on the edges. But so these, I did use tape to help support it, but they're mostly being held in place by that top mirror. But I just didn't want it slipping at the wrong time, so. So it's super thin. And I'll set it there. And then this one is another one. The ones I cut, the super cheap ones I got cut, they're longer ones when I got them. So these, I don't know, might be the same one. And just getting the tape off. As much as possible, I want to get to where I don't have to use the tape, but it is a nice little extra support. But the way that this one was, there we go. Okay. So these little, I think I did make a video of this before, but just in case I can't find it, these were a little, they had like a block, like just a hollow little block in the center. This packaging from my refrigerator. But I used the Dremel tool and a knife and stuff and carved off the top part here so that this can rest in it to be up a level higher. And then that's where, when the front one rests against this one, it kept it in place. This, and both of these wall thingies right there and here, they're made of, these are flooring. I got another big trash pickup thing. And for this one, I just super glued the two pieces of flooring together, and then I added strapping tape on this one because I wasn't sure how it would hold it. And then I added a foam board because I was going by a certain amount of thickness, and these things to set the mirrors off a little more toward the center. And then this thing was, of course, the thing that kind of clamped it on. And yeah.